So in episode 1, we randomed our starter Pokemon, but we were able to change one thing about it, and I made him the Shadow class, which is a few abilities, one of them being Blink, and we were able to blink away from Belladoris here. She was the guardian of this ancient vault, and she now finds herself starving in our prisoner cell. We're currently trying to keep her starving, but we want to keep her conscious, so we're keeping her malnutrition below 80. And the reason why we're starving her is we want her mood to be in a bad place, because there's a chance that she can lose a bunch of certainty in her ID Legion if her mood's really low. And we need her to join our ID Legion before we can recruit her, because with ancients, recruiting is forbidden as is being recruited, but if we convert her to our ID Legion first, then we can convert her. Also, while we're in this process, we can have Black convert her, but it does come at a cost. With Black's childhood, he's incapable of wardening, but I have a mod that allows people to do stuff that they're incapable of. It just gives them a -5 moodlet, and I don't think this mod's too imbalanced because he's not technically incapable of speaking, he just doesn't like to do it. Also, every time he speaks to someone, he loses anonymity, and if this gets to 0, he gets a -20 moodlet, and that's because of our ID Legion. Social interactions are disallowed, and anonymity is required. We random this one, and it kind of sucks. The only positive to it, I think, is wearing Visage Mask for +2 moodlet. I assigned Black to Warden again, and he went down to 0 anonymity for -20 mood. Oh, and we get to choose our ward. I don't think Caravan Rival does anything because we're at war with every faction, so let's just take the prosthetics, I guess. We'll hope that these guys don't steal them. They dropped somewhere over here. As for how we're going to deal with these raiders, the Shadow class is really powerful, especially early on. It has really good single target, and it does actually do AoE as well. We're currently invisible for 3 seconds, and then we pop out invisibility for 2 seconds, and then we teleport back to our original spot. But yeah, we knocked out this dude. He's gonna bleed out in 4 hours. He's not that great. Tom has got 10 hours left. He's got Nightshade Toxin as well, and Mizuki also has the Toxin. Mizuki knocks down the wall. Tom's making his way in, but he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. We have Shadow Strike up again, and we're just going to Shadow Strike on Mizuki. We knock out one more, I think. Oh, Mizuki went down. If we kill this thing, the damned one, yeah, they're going to run. Do we want to try to capture Tom? He's got 8 hours. We could just try to knock him down. We already knocked out 2 of these guys. Mizuki's got 4 hours. We cut off her left arm, though. This dude doesn't have any permanent injuries, though. He's a prison guard, which does increase his social stats. It'd be good to recruit him and have him do all the wardening for us, because Black really does not like to do it. And he does only have 2 resist. I wonder why it's that low. We could also capture Mizuki. Oh, she got back up. Never mind. We're just going to let her go. I was going to strip her, but nah, it's whatever. Let's grab these Dradic Kidneys. I'm not sure if they're any good. They're low-level prosthetics, so they're probably not that good. Let's capture this dude and go back inside. Black's in a bad mood, I just realized, because his anonymity was violated. It's now compromised because the meter's going up a bit. Observe Rotting Corpse as well. Yeah, he's not a good mood. We need to make sure he doesn't go into mental breakdown. Also, when we do assign him to Warden, he gets this -5 moodlet for a while, even after we take him away from the wardening job. I think it lasts like a full day, so we want to keep him away from having to do wardening at all. And I have him assigned to do recreation full time, so we can keep his recreation bar full. He does want to go outside, trapped underground for -7, so we might as well just let him outside for a little bit. We'll have him blink over the wall maybe, just have him wander around outside, and he probably will do recreation, I would assume. He's going for a walk outside. This is increasing his outdoor meter. Don't walk past the door though, there's too much blood and guts over here. We have one more room to hack, which is the power room. I haven't really gone over the other rooms. Ooh, this is a nice one though. Ancient geothermal plant provides 6,800 watts of power, and then the chem fuel power generator gives us 4,000. We do have to resupply with chem fuel, but we do have some chem fuel tanks in here that we can deconstruct for chem fuel. Plus, we shouldn't probably need to do that for a long time, as we haven't even researched electricity. We have no tech researched, and one problem with that is we cannot rebuild power lines. So like I tried to move this battery earlier, but the battery is connecting this power line to this one, and if I move this battery, it will remove power from a lot of stuff. I'm not sure exactly why that's the case. I can't really tell like how the power line system's set up. Maybe if I claim everything first, then we can see. Yeah, so the power lines go down here, over this way, and yeah, if any of these get destroyed, we're pretty much screwed. Like, these doors require power to open, so we may lose access to parts of our base if some of these power lines do get destroyed, at least until we research electricity, which right now we're using this mod that makes it so we get 3 random techs to choose from, and there's really no guarantees we're gonna get electricity anytime soon. I think our best bet is probably just to go for the cheaper techs. Like, this one only costs 400. Passive cooler is pretty good too, but it doesn't take that long to research, and when we're done with it, maybe we'll get electricity next. Black does only have 3 intellectual though. Belladoris has 0, and this dude has 6, but it's locked at 6. So I don't really see us getting any tech research anytime soon. I think our best bet for now might just be to put walls over. We got a psychic ship. to the southwest down here. It's a male psychic ship, which is going to be affecting black for negative 15 moodlet. Wow. I think that's because shadow class increases psychic sense. Yeah, it increased it by 25%. That is pretty brutal. So the way we're going to deal with this mech cluster, crap, we got to choose a reward. 5 random low level prosthetics, random normal level reward. Let's take that. And we get a normal weapons drop that the raiders are actually walking past. Any good weapons over here? Shield, a Gauss Lance, which is really cool. We should grab that, summon that away from these guys. Equip. And are these guys not going to chase us? They don't seem too interested in chasing, which is okay, I guess. Let's equip the shield maybe. There's a crossbow here too, which we don't care about the crossbow. Shield could be useful though. Here we go, this guy's chasing. I want them to chase towards the mechs. They don't care about chasing though, which is like, okay, whatever. My plan was I was gonna wake up the mechs while the raiders were chasing, and then the raiders would take the mechs, but let's just shadow strike onto this phalanx, wake them up, and then possibly kill the phalanx, maybe not, I'm not really sure. Run away, blink, back inside. And we're good. As for these raiders, probably just shadow strike the one that we'd want to knock out potentially. This guy's Odyssean, which is a really cool trait. Gives him really high learning rates, a god trait. That dude would be pretty amazing to knock out. I also don't know how we can drop this shield, by the way. I'm trying to drop it, it will not drop, so I'm not sure if we're stuck with that or what's going on. Shadow strike does have a 60% chance to crit, does 11 damage. I think that's how it always was. So the shield is not like lowering our damage. Okay, that's enough damage. That person, they're gonna bleed out in 4 hours. Good lord. And so yeah, I think we're actually gonna be able to 100% capture this person because they're gonna bleed out in 3 hours. The loss is minor, it's gonna start getting really bad. We'll wait for it to get to about like 50-ish, and then we'll try to take these dudes out, because if we try to take them out too early, then this dude's just gonna run. One thing you guys also missed is one of our prisoners went into Virtue, which there's a chance that anytime they can go into mental break, they go into Virtue and it cancels out the mental break and they get Catharsis. And they should get some kind of bonus for a little bit, last for like a week or so. But I don't know what they got. But yeah, this dude's blood loss is 41. They are moving at 22%, which is still pretty fast. 1.02 only now, actually. But Odyssean does increase their movement speed by 1, but... Oh, they went down already? Okay, wait. Let's start killing. They're gonna run. Okay, cool. Arrest. Or... Yeah, okay, whatever. We'll just come back out and rest. We have 2 hours left. So yeah, we just captured a really good dude. And this dude can do research, actually. I could also just have black shadow strike down here on cooldown. And we can level that up a bit more. Put some points in a vicious strike to increase the damage. Right now, we also increase the toxin severity that it splashes in an AoE when we do it. We should probably go for the range ones first. Those are the easier ones to take out. We actually one-shot that dude and actually get away from these guys while you're not in Viz. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking that it was risky to use Shadow Strike onto the melee mechs, but it's really not because... Okay, we killed that one. And once we go out of Invis, just run away and we're fine. Once we Shadow Strike on them, we have 3 seconds where we get the increased haste. And I don't even care about the phalanx, actually. It sucks in melee. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this thing. We got some boars out here, by the way, that we should probably cook up for meat, because we do still have 334 survival meals, but we can feed that meat to our prisoners and that will just conserve some meals. Oh, there we go. Barrow had a crisis of belief as well. Lost a bunch of certainty in their ID Legion down to 49%. They do have a ton of resist though, 25, so that's gonna be a process to recruit them. I don't want to enslave them because I think you lose a bunch of stats when you enslave, and then they can just randomly prison break, but that is still pretty big. We need this person to join us for the tech that they're gonna provide. Speaking of ID Legion, we're back to converting Belladorus because we did finally take out that psychic ship part, so we're okay in lowering our anonymity a bit. We can take the -15 for anonymity compromise and -5 for a sign of warden, as long as there's no psychic ship part on our map. So I couldn't unequip the shield that we got from the raid earlier, and it's a part of the Doomday weapons mod, I think it is. So I uninstalled that weapons mod and it deleted the shield. I'm kind of worried that that might have messed things up. Got some errors popping up, but hopefully nothing too crazy. Usually you shouldn't uninstall mods mid playthrough, especially if you have this stuff on your map, but there's no air spamming and I'm not getting lag, so I think we should be okay maybe. And we got a raid coming in. These 3 dudes. This guy is really good. Nomad is a really decent class. They can shoot and do melee. Oh, we got Ares Wrath on this dude. A really good combat trait as well. I kind of want the Nomad though over the Ares Wrath because Nomad's just such a good class. We're gonna Shadow Strike. It's gonna apply an AoE poison. No, we killed him. Didn't mean to do that. Just to start inflicting bleed on this guy, I guess. and then just let them bleed out. You know what I just realized we could summon him in this room while he's still up. That would be so exploitive. I don't know if I'd feel good doing that. You can literally summon people while they're up. Yeah. I don't know if I'm at that point though. That might be a little bit too much, honestly. We just pick the best ones, we summon them into a prisoner cell, and then just hit them a few times till they're bleeding, and then eventually they go down. There they go. Summon them in. Hopefully we don't hit them as we summon. Oh, we have to choose a reward. Let's take the poor weapons drop. Let's arrest. As for Higina's resist, only 6 resist. Wow, I think because they're so low tier and we're technically tribal, but that must have been the case with the other dude that has basically no resist. 25% global certainty loss factor. Ouch. So we're just gonna have to keep this guy in a really bad mood, and hopefully we'll get the mental breakdown that lose a bunch of certainty as ID Legion. With other people, it's not really necessary, I think, but with him, definitely it's gonna be necessary. As for the poor weapons drop, we got a Persona Tesla gun, which does require special spacer ammo, but it does have a Persona trait, Psychic Hypersensitizer. Increases somebody's psychic sensitivity by 40%. We don't really have a Psycaster yet, so that doesn't matter too much. And this Moyo Cryo Blaster also uses Spacer Special. And finally, we got a Golden Scourge, which can inflict severe bleeding and grievous wounds, but isn't much damage. This might be pretty useful for knocking people out though. I'm going to prioritize converting Belladorus over grabbing those weapons, which they are deteriorating outside, but I care more about converting her than going outside and seeing a bunch of rotting corpses. We could summon them inside, like the best one, I guess. They're all pretty crap, but maybe we should summon like the Persona weapon just for that increased psychic sensitivity. Some does cost a lot of mana, 24, and we can actually reduce the cost of it by quite a bit for 4 points, but there's other nice things we can do with these points, like Shadow Walk is a really good ability. It's like another blink, but you have to use it on someone or like an animal, and if you put talent points into it, you can get invisibility. Shadow's Caress is really good. It will heal the caster and the target, and it will cloak the target as well for 3 points. That's really cheap actually. There's also other good stuff we can do with those points though, so I gotta kind of think about it. Like Soul Bond's really cool. You can use it on someone that's a part of your faction and they lose stats, but he gains stats quite a bit actually, but then you can like decrease the stats that the target loses and you can gain the amount of stats that he gets, and you end up getting like quite a bit of stats actually. So it's something to consider if we have someone that we don't really care about having good stats. Like Belladorus isn't the greatest, I guess. Like I haven't really gone over her stats too much, but she's got this god trait that increased her medical ability, but she doesn't really care that much about medicine. She's a good artist and like a planter. She can just plant and chop trees and stuff and then turn them into art. That's probably gonna be your job, I guess. But like we could suck her stats out, and using Soul Bond on someone gives them like a 20 bonus moodlet as well, so that might be something to consider. Caravan Animals wander in, eh? These guys could have some good stuff on them. Ninja Mask for black, that's what's up. And what else we got over here? Nothing really that we care about. I want that ninja mask though. Increases melee dodge by 15. Holy cow, that's a lot of dodge, but it gives like not that much protection. I really like that item. That is super cool. Imagine us getting a ninja mask for black. We can even summon it into like our prisoner room. If Higina goes berserk, they'll go berserk on the caravan animal. Summon that one into our prisoner cell room, and yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but yeah. Higina will potentially go berserk if their mood gets bad enough, or they're gonna lose certainty in their ID Legion, so you can have fun fighting the Night Mule. And there we go. Belladorus joins our ID Legion, and she has 0 resist because super ancients have no resist in these vaults. And her anonymity has been violated. She also wants some clothing, which we can give her. We can actually just give her a marine armor. There was 2 of them in the armory room, plus some guns. There was a good assault rifle and an awful one. No ammo for them though, unfortunately. So pretty much immediately after converting her, Belladorus ends up joining us. And as I had her start to convert this dude, he has Crisis of Belief and loses a ton of certainty in his ID Legion. So it's actually not going to take that long to convert him. The timing on that was just amazing. And yeah, he only has 2 resist. So once we convert him, we'll have 3 people following our ID Legion, and we'll be able to make someone our moral guide, and we'll do it with this guy, and he's going to have an insane conversion power because Prison Guard does not actually increase conversion power. Neither does Haggler actually, but it still will double his conversion power, making him our moral guide. So we'll be able to convert these guys a lot easier, and then he is still a really good warden. I've decided that since Black is kind of our solo carry for now, the best thing we can do is increase his stats by using using Soul Bond on Belladorus. We're going to put 3 points into Amplified Bonds, which increases the benefit to him. Soul Link lowers the mana cost of it, which we don't really care about that. But then Soul Buffer decreases the burden on the host, which is her. Do we even care about her stats though right now? Like, we kind of do want her to do planting and art though. And one thing I didn't go over is her anima and arm actually increase her planting ability, and it's more efficient. So probably would be worth to just lower the stat decrease that she gets. Now he gets 20% increased consciousness, 20% lowered aiming time, 5% less mental break, more psychic sense, and more global learning rate. And Belladorus gets only 10% less consciousness, 10% increased aiming time, 2% increased mental break threshold, lower psychic sense, and lower global learning rate. But she gets a 24 bonus moodlet, which is going to counter out anonymity violated, so she can do our wardening jobs right now. And once she's not our warden anymore, and our warden's going to be this guy, we can switch it over to him. And there we go, the magic moment. Agina goes berserk. She's now owning the Night Mule, but did get tagged just once and it did that much damage. Another hit does tons of damage, good lord. It's not even the damage necessarily, it's the, oh god. Okay, phew. The Night Mule is the perfect prison warden actually, if you think about it. I think Belladorus can actually just go in there now, and yeah, it's not even gonna attack her. That's amazing. Be able to have her tend him, and even with that 75% increased 10 quality, it's not even giving him that much 10 quality. Since she only has 2 medical, it's not even increasing it by that much. It's 75% increase of whatever it would have been. So like that should have been what, 4, I think? It's not like it's like a flat out, oh, we're getting raided by the way. It's not like a flat out 75% on top of, you know, whatever the tend is. When it's by the androids, this is a brutal race. It's actually just Shadow Strike killed that dude. Going on the next dude. I don't even know if that person was good. They were a caster for sure. He's now bleeding. They got 12 hours left. They are a perfectionist, and they are a natural genius at art, and they can fight as well. They have passions for both shooting and melee. Not a bad dude. It'd be nice to capture this person. Oh, it's not even the perfectionist trait that I was thinking of. It's a different perfectionist trait. Okay, well that kind of lowers my opinion of them a little bit. I don't know what to think about it, to be honest. I think we're just gonna Shadow Strike, and then whatever happens, happens. Let's go for this dude now, because we killed him. Yeah, we did. If they run, they run. Like, it is what it is, kind of type of deal. Because this is too much damage to our wall. It's too much repairing that we're gonna have to do, I think. So he's got severe coolant loss. If he gets to 60, I don't think he's gonna go down. It's like extreme. Yeah, he doesn't go down. I think it's 80 if I remember right. And already coolant loss is 79, 80. They go down? No, they don't. Okay, so I think there's another process after the coolant loss gets to 100. Then they start overheating or something. Oh, they're gonna leave. Do we want to summon them in? Yeah, might as well. Let's just do it. It's a good fighter. They have like increased HP on their body parts. Link out of there though. Okay, Black got hit a little bit, but it's fine. This person's just gonna be stuck in there for a bit. I'm hoping they don't destroy our walls when they blow up. If they do, overheating minor. There we go. Loss of consciousness. Oh, and this process goes really fast. And if it does get to 100, they blow up. So we gotta be ready to save them. Only went down. Okay, Link in here. Oh god, healer serum. Oh my god, yes, take that for sure. Arrest. And first aid as well. Overheating severe. Okay, now we're good. It's not gonna blow up. It has to get to 100, I'm almost certain. As long as you stop the bleeding, then the overheating will stop, I think. So the injury finally came to. We stripped her, and here's our equipment. It's pretty crap stuff overall, but she did have this cowboy hat, which increased social impact by 10%. Give that to our warden, increase their social stats a little bit. One thing I don't know if I went over about androids is they do have, I think, 30% more HP on their body parts, so they make for good fighters. And she does have passions for shooting and melee, although she has heavy sleeper, which makes so you can't draft her if she's asleep, which is kind of annoying. And overall, she's not someone that I would say is irreplaceable. So I think we're going to do a gene tailoring pod operation on her. And if we do an operation with all these add-ons, I don't think we're missing any. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got all of them connected. These are just educators up here. They have nothing to do with the gene tailoring pod. Try to add a superpower to her. There's a 42% chance of failure, but even if it does fail, I think there's a pretty low chance that it actually ends up killing her. And if the operation does go bad, we do have these healer serums, and these can cure the single worst health condition affecting someone. And we now have 5 of them. We could use one on like Boril and save her left leg, which I don't know if we care about that too much. She's mainly just probably doing research and doesn't need to move too much for that. We could also cure Black's neck injury, which is increasing his pain. That's also lowering his breathing by quite a bit, which does affect his rest effectiveness. It's only getting 93% rest because of that injury. Also, we got to think about if his neck does get destroyed, he dies. So yeah, I think it's probably good to use that on him. And that will end up not only increasing his stats, but also his survivability. If he dies, then the run's pretty much effed. And when it comes to like Bellador, Belladorus' scar. She's got a 3 damage scar on her lower back, which is affecting her movements and her manipulation. But that's about it, I think. We don't really care about curing that. I also don't think there's any implants that you can do for the neck. So it wasn't like we could install something to, you know, fix that later on. I think that was pretty much an unfixable injury. It's a little update on our ward in progress. He converted to our ID Legion, and he's permanently anonymity violated for -20, so it is gonna be hard to convert him. We're only getting 1.6 resist down for talking to him. We did just move a table into his prison cell though, so he'll be eating with the table. And we still need to have Belladorus start making some art for our prisoner cells as well, make them really nice. Once this dude does join us, then Belladorus will have more time to do other stuff, and we'll be able to start chopping some trees. We're getting raided. None of these guys are exceptionally good, so we might just take these guys out quickly here. I should have probably done the splash on these guys over here. That was not really well played, but oh well. Let's just drop a Shadow Strike in this group of units and then just start owning. Just own them all. This guy as well. And they're running, nice. We actually did end up knocking out one of them. I think it was the dude that we wanted potentially. Call list squad. Sure, it's the normal reward. The other two are poor. Do we really need stones right now? Like, I don't think so. Is this the guy, by the way? Yeah, he is the guy that's scientific. He's got 4 hours. We cut off his leg, but that's okay for a researcher. Summon him in and bandage him up. As for the word, I swear I heard something drop in, or maybe I was just imagining things, but I'm not seeing that we own any animals here, and I'm also not seeing anything extra on the map that wasn't there before. So I don't know what that was all about, but we did not get a reward for wave 7, I guess. 1.6 days till our next raid. We got a mech cluster and a psychic ship. We don't really care too much about the mech cluster. It does have an auto mortar, but I think we're not going to worry about that too much. We're mainly just going to go for these mechs, and that does actually wake the crap, he got hit. Okay, we actually did wake up the mechs. It's going to start mortaring our base, but it cannot hit. Yeah, it just hit the mountain. Okay, so wave 8 is about to be here, and we're going to have black blink outside before they get here. Crap. Okay, he's out. And hopefully does not get lock on. Okay, holy hell. What the hell? Good lord. Blink inside. What the hell was that? They spawn in from that side, really? I wanted to blink him in behind this cover here, but the spot that I tried to blink him, I think that's where I selected originally, and then that spot was like not in range or whatever. That could have been really bad though. I mean, he does have a scout power armor that's giving him 100 shield, but yeah, that could have been a little bit sketchy. This Mechanid faction is really beastly, so they are doing some work on these Mechanoids, and that guy is some type of caster, a Warden class, which is a pretty good class. It's more for melee though, and they hate doing melee. Should probably look at these guys though to see if there's anyone we'd want to capture. Because yeah, the Mechanids are really good. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that we'd want out of these guys. Oh, there's this dude over here too. He's a Psionic, which is a pretty good melee class, but he's locked at 8 melee. Nah. It's kind of lame. Looks like the Mechanids do actually win this. We could get Black out here to use them as a distraction. Oh, it looks like that dude finally joined us, which is really good. And let's do Shadow Strike on like this guy. Take him out. Attack this guy as well. Damage. Okay. Alright, these Mechanids are pretty low. This dude actually wouldn't be that bad because he can build. We knocked him out. Textile drop. Let's take that, I guess. But yeah, those Mechanids spawning in from where they did was kind of a blessing and a curse. It did clear out this mech cluster for us, and we will be able to just finish off that psychic ship part. We're now going to make this dude our moral guide, and he's going to be able to recruit our other prisoners for us. This Mechanid surprisingly only has 10 resist, and he's actually going to be a really good addition with that 13 construction. He's a fast learner as well, and if he repairs full time, he probably will be able to max out his construction pretty easily. Meanwhile, down here, we're getting a ton of certainty down. We were only getting like 3%, I think, for Belladorus doing the converting. And the nanite injection has finished. Self-resurrection is really good. They are paranoid though. If outside of home area, pawn suffers mood debuff, you can just set a home area on the entire map and that just cancels that out. This is not a bad weakness as well. Mutes, they just can't talk. And then psychic resist, nope. Taking a self-res, of course. And Gallant is going to make for an amazing fighter actually, because they can resurrect and they can build as well. So that's another builder that we're gonna have. So Agina finally had Crisis of Belief, and I was actually thinking about tossing him into the Gene tailoring pod maybe. He's to do with Ares Wrath, and he's a really good fighter. Iron Will lowers mental break. There are some superpowers that really help with melee, and they can like increase tankiness and stuff. So I think it's kind of worth it to try. I think we're gonna roll the dice with him and do just one operation on him. I think the benefits just outweigh the risks. I also didn't talk about why we're able to choose the ability. It's because of this nanite sampler that allows us to choose between 2 sets of abilities. And I'm thinking maybe in the next episode we might hack this ancient broadcast station and go explore another vault for more gene tailoring pod add-ons. Because if we want this run to be like, you know, the chosen run that lasts till wave 800 or whatever, we're going to need some late game super soldiers, and the best way to do that is by getting more add-ons for the gene tailoring pod. But yeah, so that'll probably be the focus of the next episode, exploring another vaults. The waves are not that difficult yet. This is a really easy faction for wave 9 as well. And so we'll probably end up exploring another vault pretty early on the next episode.